Hey there folks, welcome back, and as F1 is about to wind down for its summer break after the Hungarian Grand Prix this weekend, the WRC is about to return from its summer break with Rally Finland. The rally that has only missed one World Rally Championship season. That was in 1995, when it was part of the FIA 2-litre Cup. Likewise in 1996, Rally GB did not feature on the WRC calendar. It was this weird time, and I completely digressed. Rally Finland is one of the historic rallies, including the first stage Haju, which has been used since the 60s in this kind of iteration. Most of the routes go back ages. Even if they change year on year on year, you'll probably find a stretch of road somewhere in that new bit or old bit that was used 20, 30, 40 years ago in the rally. It's really something quite interesting. If you want to find out more about the roadbook, I suggest you check out It Goes Faster Now. It's a blog that I follow ahead of every event to see what kind of changes there are and whether or not these are changes I'm going to recognise, having been a rallying fan for, 16 years now? Or that's how long I can remember. Now, Rally Finland is also going to be an interesting one to see who's in contention for the win, who's in contention for the podiums. And let's start talking about the kind of driver lineups. So sadly, Hayden Paddon will not be in the event. This was due to a heavy crash on Monday in the pre-event test, where he was using the event car because they couldn't get a test car out to the location. Sadly, they can't get another car out in time, which means that what was going to be a mega comeback won't happen. And I feel sorry for the guys, I feel sorry for Hayden, I feel sorry for John Kennard, and I hope to see him out of the stages again soon, if not immediately, because I would want it immediately. Hopefully for something like Rally GB, hopefully before Australia. Almost certainly I want them in an event this season. However, we do see a comeback for Craig Breen. He's going to be in the I-20. Before I talk about the manufacturers, we will have the Jan Pro car again in the WRC. I believe it's Juni Virtanen that's going to be driving it. I might be pronouncing that name wrong. Who has been at the event every year since 2009, I believe. I was just checking the stats on the EWRC results, which is another link that I'll put in the description below. It's something that I like to talk about when it goes through any kind of data. And that reminds me of a stat with Mats Ostberg, who I believe was in 2007, was the first one he did in a streak that sadly won't continue this year. However, let's talk about the teams and who's going to be competing. So let's start off with Hyundai actually. Now Hyundai have never gotten a podium in Finland. The closest they got was Hayden Paddon last year, who picked up 4th place. Now they are bringing upgrades this season, but they're also bringing in Craig Breen, a podium finisher in 2016 in the Citroen DS3, which was arguably still a dominant car at the time, because that year was the year that Chris Meek won. However, will they be able to get through this into any kind of good fortune? Well, if you think about the fact that Craig Breen's been competing pretty much across the season in multiple different championships and multiple different cars, it is possible. Also, his co-drivers Paul Nagel, who won the event in 2016. So it could be possible that Craig Breen causes Hyundai's first podium in Finland. But you still have 2 highly capable drivers in Thierry Neuville and Andreas Mikkelsen. If we have a look at Ford now, their 2 remaining drivers are going to be Teemu Salonen, who will be taking over essentially as the lead driver for the event, and Gus Greensmith, who got the call up after Elfyn Evans was injured. If you want to read into that a bit more, well, I'm going to recommend a viewing. You can watch my video about it in the description below. Sorry, it's a bit late and my choice of words has been quite poor over the course of this evening. I've done so many takes of this video already. Greensmith did quite well in Portugal last time out, in his first outing, and in his second outing could do even better, potentially in the scrap for some good points. We have to remember as well, 2 years ago, it was Silonen's second outing in a World Rally car, and he was fighting for the lead. Now, I don't think Greensmith will be doing that. 2017 was a different time. We were all getting used to these new cars, and it was a much faster event. but it could cause a bit of a shock. If we look at Citroen now, the person who Suninen was battling in 2017, Esa-Pekka Lappi, might be about to cause quite a good, turn of events. Now, he hasn't exactly had the best season this time around, but Citroen are bringing some new front axle upgrades which they think will open up the setup a bit more, so we could see him start to go fast. Elsewhere, we have Sebastian Ogier in the other Citroen, who's been managing to pull so many amazing results out in this car this season, podiums and events where he hasn't been contending for stage wins. And the car itself was a car that was fighting for the lead a lot of last season in the hands of Mads Osberg, so we could potentially see a fight for a win. And then pretty much all the eyes are going to be on Toyota. They're almost the home team for this event. Their base is in Finland. It's not actually too far from Jyväskylä, and they have 3 proven Rally Finland winners in their lineup. You have Chris Meek, as I said, won in 2016. You also have Oid Tanak, who won last season, and you have Jari-Matti who's won it on multiple occasions. Now, this is really going to be a test of Toyota's strength. Now, we don't really know what's going to happen in regards to contract negotiations. There's a whole other debate over where Tanak will go for next season, but this will be a good starting point for him to make his judgments, arguably, if he hasn't made them already. Because Finland, like I said, it's a home rally for Toyota, and it's one where they are expected to pretty much dominate. If you were going to gamble on a team getting a podium lockout here, it would be Toyota, because they're one of 2 teams that has 3 cars, but also because of the fact that you've got 3 proven winners in a car that is arguably the fastest one in the current field in its home event on the roads that it's been developed on. And that's pretty much the case. The only problems they might have are with the fragility of the car. We saw last time out in Sardinia where they had 4 cars, because they also ended up putting in a 4th car for testing. We might see potentially some kind of steering problems. Remember, Hannon, even though he didn't finish the event because he withdrew, also had these steering problems that compounded the other 3 cars. So that might be the only thing that hampers Toyota. Elsewhere, keep an eye out for what's going to be happening in WRC2 Pro. We're going to see the WRC2 Pro debut of the new Ford Fiesta R5 Mark II. It's a bit of a mouthful to say, but it's the new version with the new body, and it's going to be competing against the Skoda Fabia R5 Evo. Now, Kalle from Pera will be looking to make his 4th WRC2 Pro win of the season. But there might be some drivers that want to challenge that. Now, Robin Perrin might be able to do it. It's a home event, and he might be trying to right the wrongs of 12 months ago. But you also have Takamoto Katsuta, you have Eric Kamali in the brand new Fiesta. And you also have people in WRC2 competing quite fiercely as well. I believe Johan Kristoffersen's going to be there. So it's really quite up in the air. I won't be able to predict who's going to win. I don't even want to, because I think I'm probably going to get it wrong. But it's definitely going to be an interesting event. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to have a bit of a discussion, we can do that down below. Also, you can check in the description for the links I've talked about, and you can look at the description for links towards other videos on this channel, including ones about Craig Breen's move to Hyundai, the deal that Patton had signed with M Sport. I'll also put my Sardinia review in there as well. But yeah, on that note, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye for now.